What's up, art family? It's your boy Tay Payton, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to draw some hands. So basically, when a lot of people start out, they do stuff like this, and it's like you just run the outline, you're like, that's the hand, but no, we don't want that. Big, nasty red X. That's how you do those school finger turkeys. So I'm going to show you how to draw hands like this, where there's construction and a little bit of thought involved, and you have more things to measure and make better lines and better choices and give it form. So how do we do that? I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, you got to just look at your hand, the hand that you don't use to draw, and you draw that hand a lot. You try to figure out the relationships between things like the palm and the fingers and the thumb. Just start to break things down into their component parts. And if you mess up a finger, just go back and redraw that finger. Look at the hand. It's basically a spatula, and that spatula has protrusions, and those protrusions are what we call our fingers. Now, the fingers are nice and simple. They're just basically cylinders with subdivisions. So the cylinders are just there to help you to grasp things, and they come in three different pieces. You have the bottom, the center, and the top. And once you divide that cylinder into those three pieces and you just measure each piece against the other piece visually, which I show you how to do in things like my beginner drawing course, then hands become a lot simpler to draw. So basically, you just start with that spatula shape, and then you mark off where you're going to draw the fingers coming out of, and you make sure to leave space between each finger. It's about a third of the length of each finger, a third of the width of each finger for the space, for the interspaces. And if you look carefully, there's basically an arc between each of the subdivisions of those finger cylinders, we'll call them, and that makes it easier to sketch in each part if you just mark those off right away, and then you draw your finger pieces in. And then you have the thumb, of course, which can be a little bit tricky, but it's basically just another finger, but protruding out of the side of the quote unquote hand spatula. And we just sort of have to figure out how to get that more of a drum-like cylinder to match up with more of those stick-like cylinders. So just start to think of these shapes as different, things you've already seen, and it'll make it easier to remember. Then you can start to do things like reconnect to different parts of the hand or add a little detail using, the different little markings and places where the hand folds in the palm and things of that nature. But when you're all done with that, then you can go in and draw over your constructive sketch, which is great for learning, great for laying a foundation, with your actual line work. Again, something I show you in BDC or the beginner drawing course. I have free lessons on my website showing you processes like these that'll really help augment your artistic abilities and help you ascend in terms of your creative capacities. Anyway, this is just where you go in and you really, again, keep looking at that other hand as you're drawing it, because it's really important to draw from life. It's something that I stress a lot on this channel and have stressed a lot. I will never stop saying it because life is the ultimate source for us. We have references that are photos, we have references that are 3D models, but ultimately life will teach you the most. It will give you everything you need because it's the most detailed we can get, aside from, hyper ultra octane 8K renders in 3D and the metaverse or whatever. But aside from that, you're just going to be going in and paying attention to all the little cracks and divots and elements in the hand. You're going to be very interested in it. A lot of people just try to draw the hand and get frustrated and sort of quit or sort of cheat it. And, we've all been there. We all go back there sometimes if we don't feel like drawing it. But ultimately, hands are immensely fascinating things. And when you break them down to their component parts, like the spatula of the palm that can fold with the thumb, and you can figure the way that the hand can move and make a fist and point and do all of these amazing gestures, then you realize it's a beautiful, beautiful mechanism that we were handed by our creator, and no pun intended, and it allows us to do things like draw and fabricate machinery and pick our nose and eat bread, hopefully not in that order. But I just want to say thank you for watching. I hope this has been insightful in terms of how you can draw hands. Basically, for the end of the video, I am just going in and adding some large shadow shapes, which I will then smooth out using the smudge tool, because I don't like the hard edges created by the lasso tool typically, unless I'm going for a stylistic thing. And then we just mess around with a couple different layers as far as giving it a fill and changing the color, just basic Photoshop stuff that I show you in my Art Maxion tutorial bundle with lots of different tutorials on painting, illustration, stuff like that. Anyway, I hope you are having a rad 2023 and you're off to a good start. Don't forget to check out my course Growth Path. If you're having a hard time finishing courses or having a hard time creating drawing habits, all this stuff is linked in the description box for you to ascend again in your artistic abilities. I am ever grateful for every subscription, every like, every whatever, because it helps the channel grow, helps me reach more artists, helps other people learn the magic that is drawing. So if you want to be better than the AI, at least right now, because we know it iterates at a speed that is far beyond human capacity, then draw hands, because right now it's really bad at them. And I just want to say again, thanks for watching. I hope this was a fast and easy tutorial for you so that you can start to draw better hands. Take care.